Welcome back to this platform. My name is Marjorie Natambi and this is Money Monday Talk with Coach Marjorie. Now today we are going to be talking why finance, because most people ask me this question, Marjo, why finance? So get your cup of tea, grab your juice or how is the year going? It's been amazing. We just had SheRise. It was a success. Thank you so much. Now, today we are going to be talking about one of the most frequently asked questions. You know, I meet people and they tell me, but you do all these things, personal growth, you're a good leader and things like that. Why did you choose to be a finance coach? And we're going to just dive into the story. Now, I was just looking back to how I started, and I remember I started doing business in as early as P5. Oh yes, primary 5. You know those kids who used to bring Grab at school? Now my primary school, they used to allow Grab for some time. And I remember I used to be those people that were always selling my biscuits. I hope my daddy never gets to hear this. But I was always those people who are selling biscuits. You know how a box of biscuits has like a pack of three biscuits? So we'd get that, open the box and sell each of the packs at 100 shillings, and we made lots of money. So it's been a lot going on doing business to business. Of course, then I did not really understand finance or money as such, or even business principles, but at least I know that from the on-go, I always loved to make the money. Yeah, you know how we talk about in finance that it's get the money, guard the money, grow the money. I didn't know all those principles, but at least I knew how to get the money. So that's how my journey started. So I used to do that in primary school. And I remember after my senior 6, I got my very first job working in a restaurant with my dad. But that was a long journey because I was one of the people who were finishing all the chapatis in the restaurant. And I think that's why I had all this huge weight on me during my vacation and my campus days, because I know most of my people that I went with to school at campus, they find me like, you actually lost weight. So I was actually bigger than this. But throughout that, I learned so many principles working with people, and I got more love to actually make money and look for the money. So after that, I joined university. Now at university, I remember since I was already used to working, I couldn't settle. I was on government sponsorship, we bless the Lord, and I was always in hall. So I asked myself, what else can I do as I get by my studies? So I remember the very first job I did, we had friends that were working in a betting company. So I reached out to them and I was like, can I join you people? They told me, okay, put in your application and let's get started. So I got started. That was the job I did back then. And I remember while I was doing that, I used to save every bit of money. I had a friend who had a poultry farm back in their village. So I bought some chicken here and there. But you know, people that do long distance farming, I was one of those people. So I used to do that. They call you, oh, we need feeds, we need to immunize, we need money for this. I was those kinds of people. So I did that business as well. Definitely it failed. For those that have tried long distance farming, you know what it brings, right? So I did that as well. And after, I started more businesses during my campus time. So while in hall, I used to make chips. I was those people who are making chips, vegetables, eggs. I made daddies and move around selling all those things because I had this burning within me of making the money. And yes, I made the money. But like I said, I didn't know the principles of save the money, grow the money. So I used to make the money and eat the money. Oh yes, I ate the money then. And then I started learning about saving the money because I'm always those people that love to read. So I remember the very first book I read then was Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do. And then Rich Dad, who hasn't read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Like you guys, at least you can start with that, right? So I read that, then they talked about saving. That's when I bought a box. You know those saving boxes? I used to drop some money in there. But at the end of the semester, I used to break it, you know, like Chiromo in high school. The night before you go back home, I break it and we eat it. So clearly, still I had no purpose of saving the money. And then after that, long story, after campus, then I got, of course, after a long time, I got another job after school. So during my first job, still, I didn't know the principles of money. So I used to get my salary and then buy a few things for my people and then eat all the money. And then I remember when I made a decision to quit my formal employment, That was the second job after my very first job, where I was finance and operations. So I quit my job. So whenever I would hear people saying, oh, save money, invest money, I'm like, but I don't even have a job. Why are you telling me that I should save money and invest money? So that is when I went on the journey to find out, what is finance? What do they mean save money? What do they mean invest the money? So I went on that journey, started learning, because like I said, I already loved getting the money. I started learning how to save the money, how to invest the money. So I asked myself, okay, Marjorie, you're saying you have no job. And I know you could be watching this and you're like, but I have no job. What are you talking about? That was me as well. I had no job, but I used to wonder, okay, you're saying you have no job, you have no money, but you're always buying here, buying clothes, shopping, you have airtime, you have data. That means you have some money coming in that you've never noticed. So I started taking notice that whenever I would buy something, I would ask myself, where have you got this money? And that's how I started on the journey. So I learned the principles of money, the principles of using percentages, the 20%. I started being diligent. Every money I would get, if it's 1,000, that is 200. I had a box, I would drop my coin there. If it's 10K, I was at the point where the bank called me. The bank calls you and says, okay, please deposit at least something, your account is inactive. That is where I was. So I deposited money whenever it would get like 10,000. I walked with my 10,000 to the agent and drop it on my saving account. And before I knew it, without a job or changing businesses or whatever, I was able to have money on my account to start a business. So if you're watching this, you don't need to have a job, you don't need to have a business to start on the journey of finances. But why did I go into discovering myself in finances and now teaching people about finances? It's because it was a struggle for me as well. Because when I was still employed, I would get the money, get the salary, but I had no idea where my money was going. So I started tracking my finances. Now that's why I speak passionately about finances, because I've seen what that has done in my life. Still with the same resources that I had, I was able to save up all this money. Now I invest money. I'm achieving financial goals. So that is why I'm so passionate about finances, for my own sake, but also to share for those other people that are struggling or that are on the journey as well. So on this journey, we are going to be sharing so many tips on finances. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment on this video, and maybe share the video with a friend or two, and make sure that you hit the bell button, because we are going to be sharing lots of tips on finance. This video has been sponsored by Victory Travel Center, my travel buddies, and we are going to July in Dubai. So if you want to join us, let me know. You can leave a comment down here, or I'll leave the number in the description such that you can join us. Zara Wig World on my hair. Thank you so much. For the makeup, Carol Talha. Thank you, girl, for making me look this good. And then on the video, we have Murazi Creations and Uribi Group. Thank you so much.